How we cutting your hair, bro?
Mid taper, and 1.5 on top, 2 on the crown.
Okay. And you want to go right down to the skin on your taper? Alright, cool. What you want to do with the beard?
Honestly, you can line it up. I'm still trying to grow it out because it's patchy.
Okay.
Right here. But just line it up and that's it.
You want to keep it high as possible, right there where I see it at right now?
Yeah.
And we knocked it down the mustache a little bit?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Are we tapering off the back as well?
Yeah.
Alright, bet. Let's do it.
What is up, YouTube fam? As you heard in the consultation, my guy want a 1.5 all the way around with the mid skin taper, and he want to bring down his crown area with a 2 guard, and he want me to keep the beard high as possible and line everything up nice and sharp for him. To start this video off, I pick up my pink comb and I'm just combing the hair out, lifting the hair off the scalp. This helps the guard go through the hair a lot easier. And always remember, when you are just about to knock somebody's hair down, you never want to brush the hair down. You always want to pick up a comb and comb the hair out. And you can see I'm working on his crown area right now. I noticed that he have a swirl, so I had to comb his hair out in a circular motion. And you can see his crown, that little bald spot like right in the middle. And you always want to comb the hair out the way his pattern is and the way that he brushes hair as well. Then I pick up my detachable with the 1.5 guard, and I'm just about to knock down his hair. This should be the easiest step through the whole haircut, knocking down the hair. And you can see I'm staying away from that crown area because he want me to knock that down with that number 2 guard. And you can also see I have my Andis Supras, and this is a detachable clipper, which means it has metal guards. The guards just clip right into the clipper. It's also pretty cool. You can keep the clipper on and you can switch in and out your guards. And this clipper is very good for just running through hair and clearing out bulk really fast. And it's also true to its guard. So if I was to throw a 1.5 guard on here, like the plastic guards, and I was to come back with my detachable clipper, I would still be able to knock down hair. So I like to just put on this 1.5 guard on the detachable and go right through the haircut. And all you really need is one swipe. Next, we're going to start on our back taper. I set up my first broad guideline with my sabers. Then I come in with my JRL clipper with the lever all the way open, going over this guideline multiple times. Now to take it out, I start close and I start to tap at the guideline. Once I see that guideline shift up, I will open up my lever 1 notch and start to tap at that line. Once I see that line tap up, I will open up my lever another notch, and I should be halfway, and I should be at the very top of the guideline. The line should be faded out. Then I throw on my 1 guard and I start close, and I'm going up about 1.5 inches. You can see his hair is growing sideways, so that's the way I have to cut it to get it down to its desired length. And I'm always cutting and I'm brushing just to see what everything looks like. Then I throw on the 1/2 guard and I start halfway. Once I see that line start to lighten up for me a little bit, I'm going to close the lever. And you can also see the hair is growing sideways, so that's the way I have to cut it and fade this line out. And I am all the way closed, and I am at the very bottom of the guideline. Now I throw on the 1.5 guard, and I'm just starting to debulk / clearing out my net transition. In this step, I am not trying to create another harsh line, so I am scooping right out. Then I throw back on my 1 guard, and I am halfway in the lever, and now I'm just starting to feather out that guideline. Once I see that transition lighten up for me, you can just go all the way closed, and you want to go at the very bottom of the guideline now. and slowly but surely, you will start to see your transition coming to life. And his hair is very coarse and very tedious, so that's why you see me keep going over the same spots over and over and over again, just to make sure that I am fading it out correctly. But it is going to require some detail work. Now I keep the one guard on, and you see me going down with the grain just to lighten it up a little bit. It's a little bit too dark, so that's why I'm going down with the grain, to give myself a smoother transition. Then I come back with the Babyliss 0.5 guard, and I start halfway, and now I'm just hitting at all them little dark spots that I see, just to try to bring this back taper all together. I like to call that my polishing guard. Now he did want a mid taper, so we're going to start right in the middle of his C cup, take away all the bulk. Then we're going to use the foil shaver for our first form of our transition. Then I come with the 1.5 guard, starting to debulk, and I start open. Then you're going to see me close the lever, which I just did, and this is just clearing out my fading area. Then I come no guard open, setting in my first guideline, and I'm going up about 1/2 inch, and I'm just fading out the beard as well. Now to take it out, we're going to do the same exact system. We're going to start closed, and we're going to start to tap at the guideline. Once you see that guideline shift up, you will open up your lever 1 notch. Once that guideline shift up, you will open up your lever again, and you should be halfway, and you should be at the very top of the guideline. If the line does not come out, just go back and repeat the same exact steps. If the line still doesn't come out, you will pick up your trimmer, whatever you set that line in with, and you just use the corner of the blade and hit the bottom of the line. Then I come back with the 1 guard, and I am close, and you see me using a lot of the corners because I am working in a smaller area. So I want to have a lot of control on this blend and how I am setting in my guideline. Now we're going to go with the grain to smooth down that bulk a little bit, so we can have a nice smooth transition. And I'm just fading out the beard while I still had this guard on. Now we come back with the 1/2 guard, and we starting halfway. Once I see that lighten up for me, I'm going to close my lever up 1 notch, and I'm going to go a little bit lower than I just was halfway in the lever. Then I'm going to close the lever up all the way, and I'm going to go at the very bottom of the guideline. Now I'm going to use my raking method with the 1/2 guard and just rake down, and I'm still trying to just smooth out that transition where it's a little bit dark at. Now I threw back on the 1.5 guard open, and you see me still working on trying to have a nice smooth transition. Now you see me close it. We're just trying to just lighten it up. We want everything to be nice and smooth going into the weight. Then I just took the guard off, and now I'm just doing a little bit detail work with the corners with no guard. And you see me have the clipper slanted, and I'm just trying to hit them dark spots using the last 3 corners of the teeth. And now you see me close the lever up a little way. That means I need to be a little bit lower now. Now we just want to line up his C cup area. I'm going to start right at the bottom of the C cup, go right to the bottom, and I'm going to draw in a C. Clean. Now we're going to line up the neckline as well. And I say it all the time, you can just see when you just put a line on something how everything just pop out for you. That taper is looking blurry. It's a clean tape. And always make sure that you fold down the air when you are going around the air, just to make sure you don't nick the client or anything. But a little bit more detail work on that taper, and he's gonna be good money. I'm gonna line up the beard line as well. And these sabers are hitting, man. For them to be my soft trimmers, these things some hitters. But my client had real sensitive skin, so I decided to just use my sabers on them. And we're gonna do the same exact thing for the other side. Same system. We're not switching nothing up. We're gonna be real consistent on what we do and the steps that we do as well. And become no guard open, setting in our first guideline, going over it multiple times to make sure we have it down to its desired length. And it's the same thing when you fade out a beard, but you just fading down. And to take out this line, you start close, you start to tap at the line. Once you see them lines shift up, you will gradually open up your lever. And remember, if your line do not come out, just repeat the same exact steps. If you're still having trouble getting that bottom line out, you just pick up whatever you set that line in with. And you just use the corners, and that line should come out. Now we pick up the one guard and we are closed. We are going up about a half an inch, and I'm still using my corners as well because we are working in a tighter space. We do not want to use the full blade when we are working in tighter areas because you can just mess up the shape. You can go way too high, and that's not good. Then we're gonna throw back on the half guard. We're gonna start halfway to start to lighten up the transition. Once it lighten up for you, you will gradually close your lever. And the more you close your lever, the more you want to go down in the fade. And if you need to go a little bit higher, you would just open the lever right back up. So just keep that in mind. If you are higher in the fade, you need to be open. If you are lower in the fade, then you need to be closed. So now you guys see that weight line that I am trying to fade out. So I threw on the 1.5 guard and I started open. Then I just closed it up. Now we're just tapping at the line. I'm not trying to create another line. I'm just trying to soften it up and take it out. And that's why I am scooping out. Now we're going to jump right back down to the one guard open. And now I'm just going to use the corners in a feather motion and take the line out. And you can just still see like where it's real dark at. I'm gonna have to come down with the grain to smooth that out and soften it up so everything can blend nice and clean. And the more you establish like a barber eye, the more you will see these things. You can always look at your mirror, you know, like your mirror never lied to you, or your phone camera, they never lie to you. But sometimes your eyes can play tricks on you and you can see things that's really not there. So that's why it's always good to look at your mirror, or after you finish with the cut, you know, you're taking a picture or a video and you can see like, oh wow, like that don't look faded, because them things never lie to you. Your phone or your mirror. And that's why I say sometimes it's good to, you know, do the whole haircut, line your client up, and then come back after the haircut. And that's when you can do all your detail work because your eyes have reset. And that's exactly what I just did in this situation. Now that I have the rough draft of the fade done, I can go off and I can line up my client. I can line up his beard, and then I can come back and I can really detail the haircut. Now you see me just lined up my client's C cup. Now I'm working on the neckline. Keep in mind, when you are lining up the neckline, you don't want to be pushing your client back. How do you know when you are pushing somebody back on the neckline? You will start to see white flush. So whenever you start to see that white line forming, that's how you know you are cutting too much hair and you are pushing the client back. Now we're going to put some holding spray on his front hairline, and we're going to brush everything down, and I'm going to use the blow dryer as well to freeze the hair in place. Then I'm going to line up his vertical bar first, and I am using my soft trimmer. This is my saber. And then we're going to start right in the middle for our balance, and we're going to start at the weakest side of the edge up. And you see, I don't ever rush an edge up when I am lining somebody up, I always like to take my time, look at the mirror, step away for a minute, just to make sure that I have this lineup straight as possible. And I know this is some people's favorite part of the haircut, is making sure that you got a crispy line on your client, but this is actually not my favorite part of the haircut. I just like handing out a nice crispy McBlurry, but I do enjoy lining up. And you can see I'm still working on this edge area. And I want you guys to comment below, what is your favorite part of the haircut? Do you enjoy fading more, or do you enjoy lining someone up? And one thing about these lineups, you have to make sure that you are hitting that corner. That point that I'm working on, that's what like stands the edge up, and that's what make it look straight. If your corner, if it look round, then it will make your edge look slanted. So just make sure that you are actually making that point straight as possible. And now you see me just switched over to my Cocos. So these are my hard hitting trimmers, and I'm just going back and just touching that line. Now I'll pull out my Tune 45 straight razor, stretching the skin and angling the razor at a 45-degree angle, and then just want to glide like butter. And I also use shave gel as well. I really don't dry shave anymore. I used to, but I prefer to use shave gel as well. And if you guys want to pick up some nice shave gel, I use the Tune 45 brand. You can go to tune45.com and you can use my discount code MOREFADES to get your 10% off at checkout. And just look at this green razor, bro. I call this that Incredible Hawk. And you can see how I applied the shave gel. I put like 3 dots on the client's face, and then I just rub it in where I'm going to be using the razor. Now you see me hitting the vertical bar, and then I'm just stretching the skin. You see me just bringing everything all together. He wanted to keep his beard high as possible. Now I'm just cleaning up all the hair that's on his cheeks. And every time that I'm using a razor or I'm doing any line work, I always like to come back and hit the line twice. Sometimes I hit it even 3 times. But one thing I just started doing, I always switch out the razor now. So this is like my rough draft that I'm doing. And then once I line up both sides, I like to come back with a fresh razor, and I like to hit both sides again to really make sure I have everything nice and crispy. And now you see me just hitting the C cup. Now I'm going to razor the front line as well, and I'm gonna get all the excess holding spray that I sprayed on his forehead as well, just to clean everything up. And this cut is looking clean, man. Now it's time for that detail work. Like I said, everything is lined up. My eyes have refreshed, and this is the time where I can really lock in on detailing this haircut and bringing everything all together. And I'm just going in with no guard open, using the corner of the blade and just hitting them dark spots that I see in my taper area. When I am closed, I need to be at the bottom of the fade. If I'm open, I can go a little bit higher. And that's a McBlurry taper. That's a McBlurry special that I just served up. And this is how my client came in looking. He just started his wave journey. Hopefully when I see him next time, he have some more waves going on. He dipping. And this is how he came out looking. A 1.5 on top, 2 on the crown, with a medium skin taper with the beard lined up. Once again, thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And now I'm out, ya.